They just gave away New York's mayoral race to Mamdani in a chicken and rice platter.
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York. Where would you go first?
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism, go to Israel.
Yeah, I'd make my fourth trip to Israel. My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs.
Yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not as a Jewish state?
No,
as a state with equal rights.
It was no, he won't visit Israel.
I still answer questions very directly,
All right,
and I want to be very clear. I believe every state should be a state of equal rights.
Okay.
By now, you have probably seen all of the headlines. Zohran Mamdani did what many thought was impossible. He won the Democratic primary for mayor of New York City, going up against powerful interests and still coming out on top. While the press is already reporting on what happened, what's missing is an honest breakdown of what comes next. Because make no mistake, the fight isn't over. It is just going to get uglier from here on out. Behind the scenes, the Democratic establishment is regrouping. Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams, they have both made it clear that they are not backing down. They are staying in the race as independents. And now the political machine is gearing up to do what it does best: protect its power by any means necessary. And it's not just the Democrats who are shaken. Republicans are melting down too. Right-wing media is losing it.
This is not something people expected. He's a 33-year-old former rapper who said a lot of weird things. He says he's going to make childcare free for everybody, buses free for everybody. There's a lot of things that's going to be given free. He's a communist. Some call him a socialist, Muslim.
We got to talk about the fact that New York is becoming a communist Bolshevik. I can't believe they've done this. How did we go from Giuliani, Bloomberg, cross over de Blasio and Adams to a socialist who now is very likely to win because anybody who gets the Democratic nomination wins?
He has like some of the dumbest ideas imaginable, which we're going to have city-run grocery stores. And obviously he wants to tax the rich. The 2 financial power centers of the West are obviously London and New York. And are we really going to have 2 Muslim mayors of the major financial power centers of the West? Like, let's just take a pause and take a step back and like, what does that say and what does that mean? Has this guy been a great picture of American assimilation? No. And that is the tragic truth of far too much Muslim immigration to the West. They tried to take over City Hall, as you could see evidence in London and Rotterdam. They tried to create own areas of their kind of Sharia type law and radical Islam. I don't know if that's what Mamdani will do, but I know this: it doesn't matter because he is a perfect personification of what we call the red-green axis. The red-green axis is Marxism and Mohammedism that come together to destroy the West.
They see Mamdani's victory for what it is, a real threat to business-as-usual politics on both sides of the aisle. So let me break it all down for you. How the establishment plans to block Mamdani from winning in November, why this race is bigger than just one candidate, and what Mamdani's victory actually means for working-class New Yorkers, for housing justice, and for the progressive movement as a whole. Let's get into it. Mamdani is not another politician. He's an organizer. He's the son of immigrants. He's a proud democratic socialist. Since joining the New York State Assembly in 2021, he's fought on the front lines, pushing tenant protections, demanding taxes on the rich, and speaking out clearly and unapologetically against apartheid in Palestinian territories. He didn't tone it down. He didn't water it down. And somehow, against all the odds, he won the Democratic nomination in the biggest city in America. And he's only 33 years old. That is terrifying for the establishment. So what do they do when someone like Zohran wins? They turn to the playbook. Step 1, independent spoilers. Cuomo and Adams are both staying in the race, not to win outright, but to split the vote, to peel off moderates and confuse voters in November. Step 2, super PAC money. Get ready for a flood of money from Wall Street, luxury real estate, from AIPAC-aligned donors, and everybody in between. They're lining up to protect their interest. And step 3, media smears. The New York Post, already on the attack. Check out this tweet that AOC shared comparing Mamdani's victory to hers. Mainstream media outlets are going to follow. Watch for words like divisive, extreme, unqualified.
This election is a choice between a candidate with a blue collar and one with a silver spoon. A choice between dirty fingernails and manicured nails.
It's all a part of the narrative. For years, progressives were told, you can't talk about Palestinians, you can't go after landlords, you can't call yourself a socialist and win. Zohran Mamdani proved them all wrong. He won because he stood for something.
Your victory. What do you think it means?
I think it means that we are ready in the most expensive city in the United States to have 5 boroughs that New Yorkers can actually afford. And this entire race was about the question of affordability. And ultimately, I have run a campaign that speaks about the tools that city government actually has to deliver that affordability in the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the world. And it's time that we have a mayoral administration that follows through and actually delivers that.
This tells us that housing justice is popular. His rent control plans connected with people who are barely hanging on. Solidarity matters. He didn't just mention Palestinians, he centered them. And people respected that. His campaign wasn't built in a boardroom, it was built on street corners, tenant meetings, block parties. This was people powered, and it worked. But now the real test begins. Cuomo and Adams are betting that progressives will get tired, that Mamdani will stumble, that the money and confusion will be enough. And so what should his team do? I hope that Mamdani's team is getting suited and booted and assembled like the Avengers, because this is war. They need to organize harder, they need to speak louder, they need to fight smarter, because this isn't just about New York City, it's about the kind of politics the Democratic Party and this country is willing to accept. Will it be business as usual, or are we finally going to see something new? If you believe in a New York that's for the many and not just the few, then this is your fight too. So make sure that Zohran Mamdani isn't the end of a wave, make sure he is just the beginning. Comment your thoughts below, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe before you take off, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.